Your ADaM datasets and metadata should communicate. You should have 100% traceability with SGDM source datasets. And our ADaM dataset must be readily usable with commonly available software tools, which is nothing but SaaS. And ADaM datasets and metadata should be machine readable. And finally, ADaM data should have a structure and content that allows only by using minimal program only should be able to analyze the data. And then we discuss about the traceability. And then I told you in ADaM also variables are three types: required variable, conditional required variable, and permissible variables. And then we started discussing about the ADaM variable conventions. I told you here also should follow transport SAS version 5 transport file format and Oracle constraints. And we have seen all those rules. It should be the name should be less than or equal to 8 characters, and you should start with an alphabet. You should not have any special character, but you can have a number. And all ADaM variable labels must be less than or equal to 40 characters, and the length of the character variable should be less than or equal to 100. The length of the numerical variable, should be between 3 to 8 and 10. And I told you we are going to have 4 letters like small w, small xx, small y, and small zz. And I have given the representation here. And the small w, generally we use for the phase. Small xx we use for the treatment. Small y we use for the category, and the small zz we use for analysis flags. And then I told you the rule is same name, same meaning, and same value. So if you are copying an SGDM variable directly into ADaM, so we should have the same name, same name. We should not change the name of the variable. We should not change the value of the variable. And then, but when you're creating an ADaM specific standard variable, even though it is a copy of SGDM, you can have a different name. And what the best example I told you? The best example, even though you are copying LBSTRESN into ADaM, so we are going to have a different variable name called eval. And we are going to have a designated base of one-to-one relationship. When you are maintaining one-to-one relationship, you should maintain the same relationship for entire data set. And then I told you we are going to have a base of corresponding variables. So best example TRTP, plant treatment, TRTPN. So when we have a two variables, only the secondary variable will tell you, will display the data type. So obviously the primary variable is going to be an opposite data type. So if TRTP and TRTPN, if the TRTPN is a numerical, obviously TRTP is going to be a character variable. But if you want to have a secondary variable in our data set, you should have the primary variable also. And then I told you, if you are creating a numerical variable from SGDM character variable, you should have the same name of SGDM, but you should have a capital N as in a suffix of that variable. So for example, sex n, race n, and I told you, if you are ending any variable ending with FL, that is a flag character variable, FN flag the numerical variable. And if any variable ending with GRY, GY, cat y, that is a grouping qualifier, grouping variables. And then I told you timing variables. So the timing variable should be numerical. We are going to have, we should have a human readable format and with no loss of any precision. And if any variable ending with the DT, there is a date numerical. If any variable ending with the DTM, date time numerical. Any variable ending with the TM, time numerical. And if any variable ending with SDT, start date numerical. STM, start time numerical. SGDM, start date and time numerical. In the same way, EDT, end date, ETM, end time, EDTM, end date and time numerical. So here also in SGDM, we are going to have DY variables, study day variables. And then to generate the SGDM, here also this study day variables, we are going to take a reference date as an RFSD day, so RFSDT, whatever the date that we have taken in SGDM, we are going to take the same RFSDT here also. And I told you, when we have incomplete dates, we should create a flag. So when we have incomplete times also, we should create a flag. And what is that flag that we create when we have incomplete date? DTF. What is the DTF? Date imputation flag. And we now can you say in the first example here we have a complete YYMMDD. So that means when we have a complete date, so in that scenario, the DTF date imputation flag will have a missing value. Then we have I have 4-digit year, 2-letter month, but there is no day. So in that scenario, we are going to have a D. In the third example, we do not have a month, so M. In the fourth example, we do not have a month and day, M. In the fifth example, we do not have a year, Y. No year and no month, Y. So no date at all, we are going to have a Y. And this is how we are going to create a date imputation flag. And then in the same way, we are going to have a time imputation flag also. If you are missing hour H, missing hour minutes H, missing hour minutes seconds H, if you have only missing minutes M, missing minutes and seconds M, if you have only missing seconds, yes. If you have a complete time value, you will have a blank one. And then we are going to have a flag. So flags are also called as an indicator variable. So if you have anything FL, that is in a flag. Population flag. If you have a PFL, parameter flag, RFL, record flag. So if it is a population flag, we are going to have an FL. FL is a population flag character. FL is a population flag numerical. So if it is in a population flag, if we have character variable, if it is yes, we are going to have Y. If it is no, we are going to have an N. So if it is a numerical FN, yes unte ganaka Y unte ganaka em untundandi 1 untundi, N unte ganaka em untundandi 0. But if you have a record flag or a parameter flag, if it is yes, we are going to have I. If it is no, we are going to have a missing value. But if it is a numerical variable, yes, 1, no, null. This is how we are going to have the flags. And then we started discussing about ADSL. And what is the label for ADSL? Subject level analysis dataset. And then what are the important variables that we are going to have? By the way, what is the structure of ADSL? The structure of ADSL is one record per one subject. And what are the variables that we are going to have? In the interview, they are going to ask a question, what are the variables that we have in SCD? So we are going to have some important subject level. We are going to have identifier variables. We are going to have the demographic variables. We are going to have the population flags. We are going to have the treatment variables, and we are going to have a randomization factors, and we are going to have a important dates. And in STDM, DM is how important we can say DM is the mother of all the STDM domains. In the same way, in ADaM, ADSL is the mother of all the other domains, because of most of the time we are going to copy ADSL variables into other datasets like ADLB, ADBS, ADAE into other datasets. So ADSL is a very important one. Okay. Now in the last we discussed about identifier variables. Now can you see what are the identifier variables we have? We have a study ID, use subject ID, subject ID. We have a site ID, site group Y, site GRY, and then we have a region Y, region YN. So these are the identifier variables that we have. And then we have a demographic variables. And what are the demographic variables that we have? Age units, age group Y, age group Y. And then we have analysis age, sex, sex N, race, race GRY, race GRYN. Okay? And this is what we have seen in the last class. And we are going to continue from that onwards. The next important variable that we are going to have is population flags. Now, what are the population flags? Very important interview question about the population flags. What are the population flags that we have in ADSL? The first population flag that we are going to have is FASFL. And the second population flag that we are going to have is SAFFL. And third population flag that we are going to have is ITTFL, impaired to treat flag. Then we are going to have PPROTFL. And then we are going to have completers flag, COMPLFL. Then we are going to have flag called randomization flag, RANDFL. Then we are going to have flag called enrollment flag, ENRLFL. So these are the 7 population flags that we will have in ADSL. What are these flags? The first one is called FASFL. FASL means full analysis set flag. Okay. And what is this SAFFL? SFL is nothing but a safety analysis flag. And then we are going to have an ITTFL. And what is ITT? ITT means intent to treat flag. And then PPROTFL. You know what you mean by PPROT? Which is nothing but a per protocol flag. And the next one is completer flag. Then we are going to have randomization flag.
Enrollment flag.
Randomization flag. And then finally, we are going to have enrollment flag. So these are the 7 flags that we have. Now we'll see what is SAFFL, safety analysis flag. What do you mean by safety analysis? Say for example, in our class, say for example, we have 50 students. Okay. At the starting of the demo, there were 70 students in my class. Okay, I'll tell you. So first of all, 80 students have been enrolled. So 80 students are enrolled in my class. Out of 80 members, when I take a demo, only 70 members came to the demo. Okay. Of the demo classes, some people they may not like the demo, and some people because of fees issues and other issues only only 50 members took the admission. Only 50 members took the admission. Now, at the end of the base SAS, by the end of the base SAS classes, only 40 students were in the class. And after that advanced SAS, only 30 members were there in the class. Okay, and then I started the clinical project. By the end of the SDDM, we have only 25 students in the class. And by the end of the ADaMs and the TLFs, we have only 20 students in the class. Okay, now after 20 students, okay, only 15 students applied the job. Now, out of the 15 students, 10 students got the job. Now tell me, what is the success ratio? What is the success percentage? Do you want me to do 10 divided by 80?
Yes, sir. 10 divided by 8.
Why? Enrollment cheseskunte job chestunda. If you get enrolled into a course, you will get a job. Parmesh? Now, do you want me to do 10 divided by 70?
50 divided by 10 divided by 50, sir.
So you want me to do 10 divided by 50?
No, sir, 40 divided by 10.
Some people, they left the course because they got some other job. Some people, they left the course because of some health issues, financial issues. Some people, they doesn't like the class after they joined, so they left the course. And tell me, what is
15 divided by 10, sir, applied by job.
15, yes, but 10 by 15.
No.
10 by.
So now you can say 10 divided by 80, 10 divided by 70, or 10 divided. So since there are 50 members have taken the course, 10 divided by 50, and it's, whoever completed the base has to 10 divided by 40, or advanced has 10 divided by 30, whoever completed the stadium, so that I can say 10 divided by 25. You can do anything, right? So it depends on the requirement. We can do that. Now we can also take 10 divided by 15. Now in the same way, when in my clinical study, I have 1,000 subjects. Okay. Now tell me, at the start of my study, I have 1,000 subjects. Now, at the end of the study, 50 members has got adverse events. Now, what is the percentage of adverse events? At the start of my study, how many
5%.
subjects we have in this?
5% is
That means, if somebody involved in my study, are you going to take as a total subjects? No. At the start, in the sense, like, these many people are enrolled in my study. Okay. 500 members failed screening procedure. Or 300 members failed the screening. So then how many members left with them?
700.
700. Okay. Now in the 700, 50 members left before the randomization. And 50 members left after randomization before the treatment. Now tell me, how many members still we have now?
600.
600.
Now tell me, how do you want to calculate the percentage of adverse events? Do you want to take 50 divided by 1,000, or 50 divided by 700, or 50 divided by 600?
50 divided by 600.
Why 50 divided by 600? Why not 50 divided by 700 or 50 divided by 1,000?
Because subjects are involved in 600 people only now, sir.
Now, so then what is the criteria that you are going to have? Okay.
Here,
So now the criteria is going to differ from one flag to another flag. What is the criteria that we have for safety flag? Now, if we have 1,000 subjects in our study, how many subjects that you are going to consider for safety analysis? Santosh, keep your mind on you. For how many subjects you are going to consider for the safety analysis? అంటే దీని లోపల 1,000 subjects లో ఎంతమంది మీరు సేఫ్టీ అనాలిసిస్ లో తీసుకున్నారు? Now we have an algorithm or a logic for the safety analysis. Whoever has taken at least one dose of the treatment, if any subject has taken one dose of the treatment, then we are going to consider the subject for the safety analysis. I don't know, I don't care why he's left the study, whether he successfully completed, or after the first dose he left, maybe after the 5 or 6 dose he left, or before the treatment he left. But what I'm going to, out of these 1,000 subjects, how many subjects they have taken at least one dose of treatment, one treatment dose? Now, for all those subjects, I'm going to keep safety analysis flag is equal to 1. Understand this one? Then how we are going to explain what is SFFL? If a subject has taken at least one treatment dose, then we are going to consider the subject for safety analysis flag. Understand this one? Now, what is the logic that you can tell according to SDM? Since you are in a SAS programmer, now how we do know that whether a subject has taken at least one dose or not? Where we can find that information? Any idea where we can find that information?
Study drug administration.
Where we can find the study drug administration information? In which CDM domain you can find that information?
Yes.
Exposure.
Exposure.
Very good. Now I will go to exposure domain. In the exposure domain, we are going to have variable called EX dose. If EX dose is not equal to null value, and EX STTTC not equal to missing value, then I will say SAFFL is equal to Y. Understand this one? ఏ సబ్జెక్ట్ అయితే కనుక EX dose not equal to missing అయిందో, and EX STTTC not equal to so EX close not equal to null value and EX STDTC not equal to missing value, then SFFL is equal to
Y.
I will consider the subject for analysis flag. Very, very important question. If somebody is asking any population flag, this is the first flag they are going to ask you. What is SFFL? Tell me the logic or algorithm for SFFL. Well, how we can define SFFL? If a subject has taken at least one treatment dose, one study drug, then we are going to consider him for safety analysis population. Understand everybody? Is this clear? Then the next question, the next flag that we are going to have ENRLFL. You only can tell me what is that the common logic that you can get when you have ENRF. So for this subject we are going to have ENRFL is equal to Y. Whoever enrolled in the study, for each and every subject we are going to have ENRLFL is equal to Y. While enroll at the chalu, whether pass the screening or not, that doesn't matter. If any subject enrolled for the study, for that subject ENRLFL is equal to Y. How do you know that whether subject has been enrolled or not? Very good. Now we are going to take a variable called enrollment flag. Remember we have ICDTC, RF ICDTC. What is RF ICDTC?
Informed consent date.
Now, if RF ICDT not equal to missing value, if RF ICDTC not equal to missing value, then I would say ENRLFL is equal to Y.
Y.
Understand this one? Now, then we are going to have next variable called RANDFL, randomization flag. Now, you only tell me for which subjects we are going to have an RANDFL is equal to Y. Whoever successfully completed the randomization for that subject, RANDFL is equal to Y. How do you know that? From where we can get this information? Remember, we have a disposition data set. In the disposition data set, if a DS term is equal to informed consent obtained and DS cat is equal to protocol milestone and DS SCDTC is not equal to missing value. And how we are going to create? If DS term is equal to informed consent obtained, if DS term is equal to randomization, then what we should do? And DS cat is equal to, tell me when we have randomization, what the DS cat is going to be? Protocol milestone and DS SCDTC not equal to missing value, then RANDFL is equal to Y. Now this is the same logic that you are going to write for, enrollment flag. What you are going to do for enrollment flag? If DS term is equal to, DS term is equal to informed consent obtained. Okay, informed consent obtained. Then what you are going to write? And DS cat is equal to what we should write? Protocol milestone. Protocol milestone, and then DS SCDTC not equal to missing value. Then NRLFL is equal to what we should say? Y. Else NRFL is equal to N. Are you getting that logic? Common logic? Clear, everybody? Then we are going to have a variable called ITTFL. What is ITTFL? ITTFL nothing but intent to treat. Will every treatment is done? Whoever been successfully randomized, for everybody, I want to give the treatment. Now, how we are going to get the logic for intent to treat? Okay, if now if randomization code is equal to not equal to missing value. Randomization code, we are going to have a variable called randomization code. Randomization code not equal to missing value. And in future, we are going to have a variable called planned treatment. So that means I want to give the treatment. She has been successfully randomized for a specific planned treatment. TRTP not equal to missing value. Then ITTFL is equal to Y. Intended field flag is equal to Y. Understand this one? If randomization code not equal to missing value and the planned treatment not equal to missing value, then ITTFL is equal to Y. Then we are going to have PPROT. PPROT per protocol flag. How do you know that a subject has been successfully completed study per protocol or not? Where we can find that information? In which ADaM domain you can find that information? Any logic that you are getting?
Contribution.
Per protocol.
You are completed inclusion exclusion criteria.
No. Per protocol. We are going to have a data set called deviations. Where we can, in which class we can find the deviation data set? We discussed this one. Which class the DV comes under?
Events.
Events class. In the events class, we have a domain called DV. Deviations or protocol violations. What information you can find in the DV? If a subject has got any major protocol violation, where we notify that information, where we map that information now? In the DB. Now, how to write the logic? Now, how to understand a subject is completely study according to the protocol or not? Now, think logically. If a subject has an observation in the DM domain, if a subject has observation in the DM domain, if the subject doesn't have the observation in the DD, then what does it mean?
Subject has successfully completed the study.
He did without any deviations. So DV eప్పుడు ఉంటుందండి observation? So for example, in the DM domain, I have 101, 102, 103, 104, and 105. Okay. In the DV, now I have 101, I have a 104, I have a 105. Now tell me, who successfully completed without any protocol deviations? Who successfully completed without any protocol deviations? 102 and 103. So now what is the logic that we are going right now? So when I'm merging, so now I'm going to try to merge DM and DV. So DM and DV merge చేసినప్పుడు అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఎక్కడ ఉండాలి ఎక్కడ ఉండకూడదండి?
DM లో ఉండాలి, DV లో ఉండకూడదు.
So what is the merge that you will do now? Tell me. You should do left outer join. Left outer join. What do you mean by left outer join?
Get the
You should have left table unique information. And the left table lo undali, right table lo undakudu. That is called left outer join. Remember, if A and not B, we have discussed this one.
Yes, sir.
So if the subject is present in the DM domain, if that subject record is absent in the DV, then we can say PPROTFL is equal to Y. Understand this one? Very, very important question. And as I said, all these 7 population flags are very, very important. You are going to get at least 2-3 flags, in the interview if you have an ADaM in your resume. If you could able to clear this population flags, so half of the ADaM entry is going to get over. That much important. Then the next value that we are going to have is a completers flag. How do you know this subject has successfully completed the study? COMPLFL, completers flag.
Completion.
Now I will type In the DS data set, we are going to have the DS term is equal to completed. Okay, and then we are going to have DS cat is equal to disposition event, and we are going to have epoch is equal to follow, and DS STDTs is not equal to missing value, then per protocol, then COMPL FL is equal to Y. And I told you DS term is equal to completed in the అంటే ఏంటంటే సక్సెస్ఫుల్లీ కంప్లీట్ చేసిన అండ్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా కంప్లీట్ చేసిన అన్సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా కంప్లీట్ చేసిన డిఎస్ క్యాట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఏమవుతుందండి ఇఫ్ ద సబ్జెక్ట్ ఈస్ లీవింగ్ ద స్టడీ
Disposition.
బట్ when we have completed, that means he successfully completed. And epoch is what?
Follow.
What is the follow-up epoch? Follow-up is the last epoch, isn't it?
Yes.
So if he successfully completed the follow-up epoch also, and if you have a DSSCDTC, then what you can say, the subject has been successfully completed the study, isn't it? Could you able to get this logic? Is it making sense for you? And this is called completer's flag. And then finally, we are going to have FASFL, full analysis set flag. Which subject that you are going to consider for full analysis set? Now, this full analysis set differs from one study to another study. You know, in one of my diabetic study, according to my current study, who is going to consider for which subject you are going to consider for FASFL? I'm doing a diabetic study. You know, in this diabetic study, you know, every visit, you know, for every dose, I'm giving, say for example, 100 mg dose. For every day, I'm giving 100 mg dose. Now, I'm going to consider a subject into full analysis set. If the cumulative dose of this subject, if it is greater than or equal to 2000 mg, then I'm going to consider that subject for full analysis set. అంటే ఎవ్రీడే 100 mg తీసుకుంటాడు అనుకోండి, హౌ మెనీ డేస్ ఈ సక్సెస్ఫుల్లీ ఈ షుడ్ టేక్ ద మెడికేషన్? 20 days సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా తీసుకున్నాడు అనుకోండి, ఏమవుతుందండి ఇప్పుడు? The cumulative dose is going to be greater than 2000. So that means you should take at least greater than or equal to 2000. Then I'm going to consider that subject for full analysis set. And it entirely depends on the study. There is no specific fixed rule. It depends on the study to study. Now, in one of the cancer study, I have, for example, 30 cycles. If any subject successfully completed at least 15 cycles, if the cycles, the visits is greater than or equal to 15, then I'm going to consider that subject. If it is greater than or equal to 15, I'm going to consider that subject for full analysis set. So it can be number of visits, it can be total dose, cumulative dose. So it can be anything. Based on that, we are going to decide a subject of a full analysis set or not. Now, in one more study, I have like this one, you know. If the subject's blood glucose after the study, if the subject's blood glucose level is less than or equal to 300, now I want to consider that subject for a full analysis set. So it can be cumulative dose, it can be number of visits, it may be any laboratory test report. Understand this one? So these are the 7 flags that we have. Very. All these 7 flags are what we call as a population flags. Okay. Now tell me one more time, what is enrollment flag? Which subject you are going to consider for enrollment flag? We have successfully completed enrollment. How do you know which subject has been completed enrollment? How do you know that one?
Based on informed consent.
Informed
In
consent.
the DS data set, we are going to have a DS term informed consent
I see something.
and then DS category is going to be protocol milestone, and then DS STD is not equal to missing value, then enrollment flag is equal to Y. And then we are going to have an RA and DFL. Again, if a DS term is equal to randomization, DS cat is equal to protocol milestone, and then DS STD is not equal to missing value, then RA and FL is equal to Y.
Why?
Then we are going to have ITTFL. What is ITTFL? Randomization code not equal to missing value. Where we can find the randomization code, remember? In which SDM domain we can find?
DM.
No,
Sub-DM.
sub-DM. So how we can get the sub-DM? I told you, I will tell you again during the previous class. When we have a supplementary DM, we are going to retranspose it that, and again we are going to merge that, retranspose it as with the main SDDM. So we make it as a source data set for ADaM, and I will tell you later that. So in the supplementary, we can find that information in QVAL. So if the randomization code not equal to missing value and TRTP not equal to missing value, then ITTFL, intent to treat flag is equal to 1. And in some studies, instead of ITTFL, we are going to have MITTFL, which means modified intent to treat flag. Then we are going to have the next variable. We are going to have a SAFFL. What is SAFFL? Very, very important variable. Safety analysis plan.
Safety
Who is
analysis.
going to consider for the safety analysis? If a subject has taken at least one dose of the treatment drug, then we are going to consider him. అంటే ఒక డోస్ తీసుకున్ననుకోండి వాడు అడ్వర్స్ ఈవెంట్ వచ్చి వెళ్ళిపోయినా లేదా వేరే రీజన్ ఎందుకు వెళ్ళిపోయినా కానీ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు కన్సిడర్ ఫర్ సేఫ్టీ అనాలిసిస్. ఒక డోస్ తీసుకుంటే చాలు. అండ్ దెన్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యావ్ per protocol, PPROTFL, per protocol flag. If the subject has successfully completed the study without any deviations. So, if a subject has an observation in the DM domain, if the subject doesn't have the observation in the DB, that means the subject has been successfully completed without any protocol deviations. Then we are going to have, what we are going to have? We are going to have completers flag, COMPLFL, completers flag. If a subject successfully completed, how do you know if the subject successfully completed? DS category must be disposition event, DS term should be completed, and the epoch should be followed, and DSS is not equal to missing value. If 4 conditions you can satisfy, that means that is called completeness flag is equal to Y. And then finally, we have a FASFL, full analysis set flag. It can be cumulative dose, it can be number of visits, it can be any blood any test report. So that is going to be specific. There, where we can find this information, now I'm going to tell you one important document. We are going to have a document called SAP, Statistical Analysis Plan. In the Statistical Analysis Plan, they're going to tell you what is the definition for each flag. Based on that only, we will write specification. Based on the specification only, now you will write a SAS logic. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
So these are 7 population flags that we have.
Sir,
No. Yes.
randomization కి ITT fact difference చెప్తారా సార్?
Randomization అంటే కనుక ఓన్లీ randomization అవుతుంది. Randomization అయిన తర్వాత even you assign that whatever the plan treatment that we have. So randomization code not equal to missing value and at the same time what we should have? We should have a plan treatment also. Then only we consider as an intent to treat. But when if we have only randomization, that would be enough for the randomization flag is equal to 1. We don't consider for the plan treatment.
Okay, sir. With plan treatment, ITT fact will be formulated.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Now, and after this, I'm going to share a couple of statistical analysis plans. Now, there we can find the definitions for each flag. Based on that, we can understand what the SAS logic we should write. Okay? Okay. The next one we are going to have the treatment variables. What are the treatment variables that we are going to have? The first variable that we are going to have an arm. From where we can get this arm? By the way, what is an arm? Planned arm. Where we have seen this variable?
DM domain.
In the DM domain. Then we are going to have the next variable, act arm. This also, what is act arm?
Actual
Actual count. Where we can find this one?
DM domain.
domain.
In the DM domain. Now, the next one that we are going to have PRT XXP. You know what it is mean? Planned treatment for period XX. And treatment for period XX. And the next one that we are going to have PRT XX PN. Planned treatment for period XX numerical. Then we are going to have PRT XXA. What is this one? Actual treatment for period XX. Then we are going to have PRT XXAN. Actual treatment for period XX numerical. Now, where we require these variables? Now, I'm giving an example here. This is the example that I have. This is one study. In this study, I want to give half of the time. Say, for example, drug A, and after some time, I'm giving the drug B. Now tell me, is it a parallel study or crossover study?
Parallel study.
No. For one subject, say for example 101, for the first 5 digits I want to give the drug A, the next 5 digits I want to give the drug B. It is called a crossover study. Okay? Now, for 102, first I want to give drug B, and after some times I want to give the drug A. So first I want to give the drug B, then I want to give drug A. And this is also called crossover study. But అలా కాకుండా నేను స్టడీ మొత్తం కూడా ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్కి సేమ్ డ్రగ్ ఇస్తున్నాను అనుకోండి. If you give the same treatment, entire study, what is called? Parallel study. But if I am changing the treatment during the study, and then that is called crossover.
Crossover.
Okay, in the parallel study, for the entire treatment, the subject is going to have only one treatment. Not a problem at all. And in crossover studies, then we are going to have a confusion. First, I'm going to give the treatment A, and after some time, I'm going to give the treatment B. Then what? How many treatments that we have here?
2 treatments.
2 treatments. Now we should create 2 variables. Now we are going to create a PRT01 plan treatment this one, and then this PRT01 plan treatment this one, and then we are going to have PRT02 plan. This is what I want to give. But నేను సేమ్ అదే ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి, ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఏముంటుందండి, ఇప్పుడు PRT01A కూడా సేమ్ అదే అవుతుంది. వాట్ యూ మీన్ బై P? ప్లాన్. వాట్ యూ మీన్ బై A? యాక్చువల్. నేను ఏదైతే ప్లాన్ చేశాను అదే ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి, ఇక్కడ ఉంటుందని PRT01, 02 A కూడా సేమ్ అదే అవుతుంది. But sometimes because of some technical issues, I might have planned something, but I would have given something else because of some technical issues. Now, in this way, now how many treatments we can give in one study? 0 to 0 అని రాసినట్టే కనుక XX అని రాసినట్టు ఎన్ని ట్రీట్మెంట్స్ ఉండొచ్చండి ఇప్పుడు?
99, 0 to 99.
9.
Now, in Monday's class, we are going to see we are going to start at the programming for ADSL. I'm going to study in the study. It is in a dose escalation study. You know what you mean by dose escalation? So first, sometime I'm going to give the 30 mg, and after a few days, I'm going to give the 60 mg, and after a few days, I'm going to give the 120, and then I'm going to give 180, and then after that, I'll give 240. Now, how many treatments that I have now?
5
treatments. So I will show you this specification. This is what we are going to program in the future. So this is going to be TRT1P. This is TRT02P, and this is going to be TRT03P, third plant treatment, and this is TRT04P. So we are going to have TRT05P. But in ADaM guidelines, they will say the possibility of 99 variables. We never have so many, but sometimes we are going to have 4 to 5 also. నేను ఏదైతే ప్లాన్ చేసానో అదే ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఏమవుతుంది, ఇప్పుడు TRT 01A కూడా సేమ్ అదే ఉంటుంది. బట్ నేను ప్లాన్ చేసిన 30 బికాస్ ఆఫ్ సమ్ మిస్ మ్యాచెస్, బికాస్ ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ 30 ఇఫ్ ఐ గివ్ 60 then TRT 01A is going to be P is going to be 30 but A is going to be 60. And then we are going to have TRT 02A actual treatment, and this is TRT 03A actual treatment for period 2 or 3 like this one. So this is the TRT 03A, and this is going to be TRT 04A, and then this is going to be TRT 05A. Now, so I'm going to have first of all this a character data 30 mg, and then the sponsor will tell you if you have a 30 mg, take 30 as a numerical variable. Then what are the other values that we are going to have now? We are going to have TRT 01 B numerical, and then what we are going to have now? We are going to have TRT 01 A numerical also. Clear everybody this one?
Yes, sir.
Then the next two variables that the next set of variables that we are going to have is, the next set of variables that we are going to have TRT sequence P, planned sequence of treatments. This you require only when we have a crossover study. But when we have only parallel study for entire treatment period, we are going to have only one treatment, then there will be no confusion. But when we have a crossover study, the subject is going to crossing over from one treatment to another treatment. So we need to present the sequence. Now tell me in the above example, first what is the treatment I want to give for 101, 30 mg, then 60, then 120, then 180, 240. Now if he asks you the treatment, now I'm going to concatenate all the treatments. So I'm going to write a 30-, 60-, 120-, 180-. I will write 2. This is sequence treatment. This is a planned sequence of treatment. So simply I'm going to concatenate TRT 01P, TRT 02P, 3P, 4P, and 5P, and I will have one value. So that simply we are going to, by using a double type symbol and strip function, I'm going to concatenate all the planned treatments. And this is required. You require only when we have a crossover study. So we are going to have TRT sequence P, and then what is the next one that we are going to have now? We are going to have the next variable TRT sequence P numerical variable. Then immediately after that one, the next set of variables that we are going to have TRT sequence A. Then we are going to TRT sequence A numerical. So actual sequence of treatment numerical. Understand this one? Clear everybody?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, now tell me, if this is the example study, how many treatments I have?
5 treatments.
5.
Treatments. Now, what I want to do, I do not want to analyze individual treatments. According to sponsor, he asked me, please keep 30-60 into one population group, 120-180 into one group, and 240 as one group. So instead of going with a single individual treatments, I'm going to pull together. Now to pull together, we are going to have variables called PRXX, PGY. And what is this one? Planned, pooled treatment Y for period XX. Now that means what I'm going to do, 30-60 I want to keep one group, 120-180 into one group, 240 into one group. So I want to create 3 groups. Now planned pool treatment Y for period XX. Then what is the next immediate variable that we are going to have? We are going to have PRXX, PGY numerical. Planned pool treatment Y for period XX numerical. Do not worry about these variables, sir. I'm explaining these variables because we have an ADaM guidelines. You may not require all these variables in real time. But I need to discuss, since we have an ADaM guidelines, we have to discuss. I don't ask you to by heart all these variables, but having a knowledge will help you to understand better and faster. And then what the next one that we are going to have? We are going to have PRXX AGY, and then we are going to have PRXX AGY numerical. That means actual full treatment by PRXX, actual full treatment by for PRXX numerical. Understand? Then we are going to have a dose XXP planned dose, and then we are going to have dose XXA actual treatment dose, and then we are going to have dose XXU. What that the dose units for PLXX. So these are the dose variables that we have. Okay, and these are the treatment variables that we have. Then we are going to have the timing variables, and we'll discuss about the timing variables in the next class. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
See you about the timing variables in the next class. Okay? See you in the next class.
Tomorrow we have a class.
You want to have class tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
we can have class tomorrow. Same time, 8 o'clock. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.